Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Blazer Victory Podcast. And again, this is our Conference USA Tournament special podcast series. And guys, UAB was able to get it done against the Rice Owls tonight in the quarterfinals. So that means UAB will move on to the semifinals tomorrow, Friday at 2 p.m. And they will take on the North Texas Mean Green. But guys, how about that butt whooping that UAB laid Rice for the third time this season? Like Jimmy and I were talking last night, and I mean, I was saying I don't know if we could blow out the same, a decent team three times in a regular, in the season. But I mean, here we are, just a butt whooping again. Like just UAB seems to own Rice, and I mean, you'll hear zero complaints coming from me. So great to see.
Yeah, it's good to see because one thing about Rice is that like their head coach is like always whining and complaining
Oh, he's the
to the
worst.
refs. Man, I'm just like it's good to kind of put it on them like that because I don't know, I don't like that. He's very demonstrative. Like maybe the other team is just outplaying you guys. Stop, just shut up. Sometimes. But other than that, yeah, Rice is a decent team. I have my own thoughts about him. I think I think they are a little overrated, especially Max Fiedler because I think people stat watch him like, oh, he can put up double digit points and double digit assists, but not, he's just not strong. He's not a strong center, like a forceful player. He's very much finesse, and if you kind of shut down those dribble handoffs that he's good at, he's kind of lost out there. So I think we did a good job of settling in. They cut it to 2, almost going before half. And it's funny if you look back at our text thread,
Right.
like you would have never thought that the score it ended up being what it was. But yeah, I think we settled into the game mentally more than anything because we was taking some WTF shots
Oh,
for a
yeah.
second, just trying to force something, just trying to get some. We were pressing, trying to get some points on the board because Rice went on some early runs, and those horrible shots and those early shots enabled them to get good shots in transition and semi-transition against a non-set defense. They didn't have to go against our 1-3-1. Because we were just taking horrible shots. So our offense became our worst part of our defense was our offense and the opportunities that we gave up. But once we settled in, Jelly hit some good shots. He didn't force those. And it was over with once mentally we locked in. And that's the UAB I needed to see Jimmy headed in to play a mentally tough North Texas team.
Oh yeah, big battle upcoming tomorrow. For me, early in the game, I wasn't surprised to see Rice hit some shots. We talked about it yesterday. They had a game on Court B, so they were able to get warmed up last night. And for me, early on, it was concerning our lack of offensive efficiency. We were 4-15 from the field at one point, and there in the first half, when we did switch to that 1-3-1, it gave Rice fits. So that was a huge pivotal moment in the game. Unfortunately, Rice did pull back there within 2 right before the half. And then to me, the next huge stretch was right there at the end. If I heard the announcer right, that 8-0 run by UAB was pretty much within a minute. And then for it to end on the Eric Gaines, defensive play and the alley-oop to Tony gave us a little bit of that breathing room that we certainly needed there at halftime. And the second half was kind of a blur. Looking here at the box score, 47 points in the second half. That was just the fun, big, large deficit that we were hoping to see some guys check in at the end of the game. That way we could rest some. And how about, Jelly Walker? Speaking of our text thread, I was saying, hey, that moment in the game when you ain't playing that great, and then Jelly happens. So it's just crazy when he can go in those runs. He can spark a 9-point game, make it 15, make it 18 with a blink of an eye, and we surely needed that tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. And also, Jimmy, something you brought up too that we all agreed with was like, hey, let's save some of those 3-pointers for the
Yes.
semifinals tomorrow. Like, I mean, we're already beating the crap out of this, Owl team, so let's let's just kind of put it to bed. Coast the remaining 7 minutes or whatever it was, and just get to tomorrow because that's something, Jimmy, that you brought up really early on in the game is that hey, you look at North Texas, who UAB will face tomorrow, and you look at FAU. Hey, they handled their business. They blew out their opponents as well. And UAB ended up doing the same thing. Really, the only competitive quarterfinal game was that Middle Tennessee and Charlotte game, and that was a hell of a game. But the other two teams, I mean, they took care of business, and UAB eventually was able to do that in the second half and kind of put away Rice. So it's good to see. It's really good to see, refreshing to see. Kind of hard to believe that as I said off the top, you blow out a decent team 3 times, like at their home place in Bartow, and then on a neutral site. Like, man, UAB is just playing some of their best basketball right now, and they're going to need to continue that tomorrow because they've got a tough North Texas team that, both of us, all UAB faithful, know, just how tough that defense is for North Texas. And, there might be a little extra motivation, heading into this matchup for Jelly Walker, whether you, agree that he got snubbed from the Conference USA Player of the Year.
Yes, I agree. He did.
Okay, I was about to say, I think all three of us do agree.
Yeah, come on.
But, hey, come on, like you look at Tyler Perry only getting 10 points tonight, and you look at what Jelly did. Like, I mean, I don't know, but we're not going to turn this into an award discussion podcast. But there seems to be a little extra motivation, not just for UAB heading into this matchup to finally get North Texas this year, but especially for Jelly Walker after getting snubbed from that Conference USA Player of the Year award.
Yeah, he was snubbed. Like, I was kind of having this discussion with a North Texas account on Twitter. Like, no disrespect at all. I'm not taking anything away from Tyler Perry. Jelly is a better player in whichever way you want to slice it. Tyler Perry probably has like a percentage point or two. I know we said we're not going down this road, but hold on. Like, he's a percentage point or two better than Jelly when it comes to shooting wise.
Yeah.
But Jelly is such more of a high volume shooter, and the type of shots he takes is totally different than Tyler Perry. I've seen North Texas twice play UAB. Tyler Perry is not like the one-on-one creator that Jelly is. So the eye test, I think stats wise, Jelly averages more points, more assists, and it's almost just as efficient. And Tyler Perry only played 5 more games. I know Jelly was injured, but 5 more games difference, it shouldn't qualify you to get an award over somebody because of availability. You were only available 5 more games than this person. I don't get it at all. Like, do you want to see who's more valuable to a team? Well, we went on the slide without Jelly. We kind of had to we had to take on a new identity to win games. Like, yeah, they lost games without Tyler Perry, but we lost games without Jelly Walker. I think they're equally as valuable to their team. So then I think, okay, who's the better player? Who has the better stats? Jelly. Like, it's not. It was. I don't know. What was the criteria? It would have been nice to know the criteria, but okay. Well, anyway,
do you think it's one of those things though, Darion, like where it's kind of hard to give it to the same player 2 years in a row? Do you think that might have played a factor in it? Like
some voter fatigue.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But that's stupid.
I agree. Yeah,
I think it's a season by season award. And this season, Jelly was the best player. I think naturally first you look at the FAU team, but FAU is a team by committee. So there was not. You got some good players, a lot of good players, but Elijah Martin have his game. Who was the guy against us that turned into prime LeBron?
Davis, Janelle Davis.
Janelle Davis. I like Victor Golden. Like, I like a lot of players on that team. They're just so deep. You want to just find a way to give some awards to that team because they do deserve it. But then you go to honestly, and this is just my opinion. I fear Abu Usman more because I think he's a more effective all-around player.
100%.
He, to me, is their MVP, Jimmy.
Yeah, no doubt. We talked about Usman, whether it was in the preview or the post, game commentary about just the need to get Usman on the bench to get him into foul trouble. So going into that UNT game that we had lost on the road, double overtime, Usman was really able to play big minutes in that game, and that's a matchup that has been difficult for Trey for whatever reason throughout the year, and so we've seen it. And I believe, in my opinion, we've really got to focus tomorrow to kind of transition to that game on getting to the free throw line. We all know last time we played North Texas on the road, there was quite a large free throw disparity, which is interesting because UAB is a team that gets to the line consistently in almost every game that we played. So, we're consistently 20 plus free throw attempts. And that night we had 10 free throw attempts, and we didn't have a lot of attempts and we didn't convert. So tomorrow, I'm going to continue to look at the same things I've been thinking about each time we get matched up with North Texas. And first and foremost, that's going to be for us to get to the line, high volume. North Texas is going to play tough. They're going to make it really difficult. We played a team tonight that is not good. Whether you're looking at defensive efficiency or, just really all around on the defensive side of the ball, you're flipping the script completely tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a completely different type of game. Obviously, I'm hoping that we're prepared for it. It's nothing that we haven't seen before, but it's going to be a different game. We're going to have to get to the line, and really, I'm hoping to see Usman get a second foul early. Javion Davis is someone that I'd like to see come off the bench, and he's super good in drawing fouls for the minutes played. He's one of the tops in the country, and just making the other team foul him. And, that might be something that we see early if Trey struggles to bring Javion in and try to get Usman just out of the game, make them uncomfortable, get them sweating a little bit in front of, whatever type of home crowd they're going to have tomorrow. And hopefully, for us to pull off a big win.
Yeah, that's 100%. What needs to happen for UAB is to control Usman. And, for whatever reason, Usman seems to have gotten got the best of Trey Jemison these last few times that they played. But we're going to need Trey Jemison to stay out of foul trouble. But one thing I was going to say is that you go back to the last in Bowling Green when UAB played at Western Kentucky. I thought that Trey Jemison and Javion Davis both did a great job in against Sharp and forcing him into foul trouble early on. And the guards going right at him. Like, UAB is going to have to be aggressive early on in the ball game tomorrow and just go right at Usman. Like, get him into foul trouble, get him off the field, because just like Western Kentucky, when Sharp's not out on the field, when Usman's not on the field, North Texas is kind of a different team. And when Usman's able to stay in the game and get comfortable getting close range shots and getting 10, 15 points, I mean, that's other than Tyler Perry, that's pretty much North Texas offensive game plan. So if UAB can get them out of, can keep Usman on the bench for a good bit of the game, then hey, it's time to it's time to beat these suckers, man. I mean, this is the third time, and the last game went to freaking double overtime. And Jimmy mentioned the free throw disparity. UAB only getting to attempt 10 free throws while North Texas gets to attempt 25. I mean,
and they hit 23 of them.
And they hit 23, and UAB only made 5 of 10. So
Mm-hmm.
that was it. And then we're not going to bring up what happened in Bartow, because that was a different UAB team, because they were without Jelly Walker. They just struggled to shoot the ball. But Darion, what are you in agreement that hey, we UAB has got to kind of focus on kind of getting it towards Usman and getting him out of the game quickly?
Yeah, and I think it's different ways that you do that. I think you have to be patient. So the patience starts with the decision making of our guards.
Yes.
We can't take those. I'm not really open threes, but I'm finna heat check it. Shots that we did earlier on against Rice. Jelly took a couple early. Ty Brewer forced some. Ladarius Brewer forced some, and those shots will get They are long rebounds. They was catching us running back on defense in semi-transition. So then it's a long rebound, a guy heading the other way. You cannot give North Texas easy shots. That's easy points. I think against a set defense, they're very average against a set defense. But if you have lapses mentally, running off of screens, not communicating, that's how they will make their open shots. They will not make contested shots. I've seen that a couple of times. There's a pattern with that. If you're able to communicate and make good decisions, and you have to be patient on offense, and you go at Usman by picking and choosing your spots wisely in the flow of the offense. Don't just try to force it. The one guy that tries to force it that way by going to the hole is Eric Gaines. Nothing good will come from that. You're going to get caught in the air.
Yeah.
They are an excellent defensive team. You're going to get caught in the air. It's going to be a turnover, and they're going to get an easy transition corner three. That is how they get down.
And the refs are not going to bail you out every time. Eric, luckily sometimes he gets bailed out by the official, but you are not going to get that every time.
No, you can't count on that. So we're going to need good decision. We can't have the UAB team we had earlier on in this Rice game. We settled in mentally, but in the beginning we were bad mentally, and that allowed Rice to stick around. That will get us beat against North Texas. We can't play mentally below average for 12 minutes. We can't do that against this team. That equals an L. So we need our guards to mentally be locked in, and we need to take good shots. I'm okay with missed shots. I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with forced BS. That's the turnover essentially. So we need that from our guards, and we need nastiness from our bigs. Usman, he's a guy that thrives off. I've always said motor is a skill. He has the best motor in conference, easily. He is always going to be active. Watch him when the ball goes up. Where he was getting Trey Jemison in these last games was Trey Jemison was caught ball watching a lot. Because, Usman was somewhere behind. Usman keeps moving. He's trying to swim around you. He is creating havoc. He's getting to the ball some way or another while you're sitting there just watching the ball. Trey Jemison has to, whenever the ball is up, no matter what is going on, just keep a body on this guy. Because he's running around, he's going to push, shove, he's going to find a way to get to the ball. It's impressive to see. I'm like, man, this dude don't stop. That's very annoying to go against. I used to hate going against those type of defensive tackles and defensive ends because these dudes don't stop, and it wears you down because just one little lapse and bam, that you've given up a game-changing play. And that is how he got so many tap outs against us. It probably wasn't registered as an offensive rebound, but it was because his activity. So our guys have to play with nastiness. I want to see us win the rebounding battle. I want us to see our guys get offensive rebounds, put them back up, get fouled on Usman, make him sit down. I want to see Jamin Davis get some good post ups, see what he can create, and see if he can get some fouls drawn. And I would take it if he just missed a shot against, or somebody get their shot blocked by him, because at least we get the run back and set our defense.
Right.
Make them create. Make Tyler Perry be the player of the year, Conference USA player of the year. Make him break somebody down and hit a step back three like Jelly can do. He can't. So, but don't let him run off don't let him run in transition to get an open three. He'll make that. Or don't let him run off a screen and you miscommunicate and he'll make that. And there's people like, oh, see, look, he can, I'm not interested in that. So if we play smart and play nasty and stay locked in, and the key is going to be, is Trey going to have the nastiness in him? And is he going to stay aware of Usman? And will our backline of our defense, if they communicate, we win the game, because I think we mentally wear them down. And then next thing you know, you get 3 jelly threes in a row, and that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Jimmy, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No final thoughts. I'm just pumped and ready to go. We're going to take a nap. We're going to wake up and it's going to be game time. That's a quick turnaround. So just excited for hopefully what's going to be an awesome opportunity for the Blazers.
We're gonna be at John's house, right?
Let's
Yeah.
go. Hey,
Let's
Blazer
do it.
Victory Cave. Yeah, in
Yes.
person. So
Hey,
First live pod. It's either
I'm
going
ready
to be.
to drink. I'm so curious to hear how the pod is gonna sound because I'm gonna be nervous, so I'm gonna be drinking, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta.
hey, well, I got plenty to go around. So
Let's do it. Let's do
let's
it.
go. Let's go. Hey guys,
Like,
2 more wins, and we're back in the big dance.
Oh,
2
man.
more. 2 more. Hey, North Texas is due. You know, they got us 2 times this year, but it's time to show them who the real champ is.
yeah, but
Defend
I
the
want
crown.
50 burger from Jelly. 50 burger to show them who the real CUSA player of the year is, man. Let's go. Let's do it, man.
Speak it into existence. Let's go.
Hey, Jelly's gonna beat him so bad, Tyler Perry, that Tyler Perry might go ahead and just go sit on the bench and just go ahead and put on that Medea costume because I have nothing left, man. And also, I know we're over. We're 21 minutes, but I know North Texas fans are listening, and they're like, well, he got 28 against UAB last matchup. Man, he hit 10 free throws. He was 7 of 18 from the field. Tyler Perry didn't. I mean, he made a couple key shots, but overall, like, the performance wasn't that great. Like, we've seen Tyler.
John. Yeah, John. Tell him we want the smoke. We want the smoke.
Bring it. Well, all right, guys.
Hey, BPP listeners, let's take a shot for every made Jelly 3-pointer.
Ooh, I don't know about
I'm staying at John's place tomorrow night.
I was gonna say y'all might have to crash. Yeah. Oh man. Well, all right, guys. Well, we'll be back tomorrow to instantly react to whatever happens in the semifinals with UAB and North Texas. But as always, guys, go Blazers.
Go Blazers.